Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is 8bitDahv talking to you today about GitHub and about the language Markdown, or rather the syntax Markdown, and how you can use it to utilize all its different functionality pieces and be able to understand it to use it in Markdown-based applications. So recently I made a pull request for my second lab within the class, where I was within this README file adding definitions and changing a GIF to another GIF within the README file. So let's head over to that README file now. So this is the color-coded changes that I made within the file, and you might notice these areas here, these hash marks before some of the text we can see in the README file. And if you're unfamiliar with what Markdown is, you might be looking at that and maybe not understanding exactly what that's pertaining to, or exactly what syntax that is. We can also see down here where we changed the GIF from one GIF. This was the previous GIF, what the program was reflecting, and now it's this one. We see some syntax around here with this exclamation point, bracket, bracket. And if you're unfamiliar with Markdown, you might not know maybe how to change some of those things, or exactly what the syntax is to achieve what you're looking for. So going through what Markdown is. So Markdown is simply a syntax which is paired with HTML, or follows pretty closely with some HTML syntax, but gives some pretty easy ways to utilize the HTML markup language within Markdown. So typically in HTML, when you would want to put a heading of level 1, you would have to use two h1 tags, an h1 tag to open and h1 tag to close. Whereas in Markdown, all you need to do was put this hash and then a space and then the text you want to display with the heading level 1. So using this Markdown language can greatly improve a lot of things within Markdown-based applications, including, some of the time it takes you to write, because obviously, four hashes might not take you as long of a time to write, or 5 hashes rather, take you as long of a time to write as opening an H5 tag and closing an H5 tag. And this can also contribute to, the look of your code, where something like this might look cleaner than finishing with a tag at the end, or having to keep track of opened and closed tags in that way. Another part we had looked at earlier was putting links within Markdown, and that's down here. So if you ever had any questions about Markdown, this markdownguide.org basic syntax is a great resource for you to look at for all of the different syntax points within Markdown. Creating a link like we had done in the example there, we have that bracket, and just a whole mess of other things that you can find within the Markdown language included in this list. So this is definitely a great resource to look at if you're still not comfortable or need additional information on some of the different syntax points within the Markdown language. Thank you so much. Signing out.